Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. It's Wednesday, the 19th of August, 2020. And the reason I wanted to make this quick video is I received a message yesterday from a friend. They wanted to put some money into silver and gold, and what would I suggest? I definitely think that you should. The thing to keep in mind is that the stock market is going gangbusters right now, as are other types of investments. This criminality in the stock market and in the Fed and the banks and our government, could it last forever? No. No. Could it go another 6 months? Yes. It could go another 6 months. It could blow up next week. You just never know when. So the key is don't risk what you're not willing to lose in the stock market. So for anybody who has their retirement in there, I'd be pulling my money out. But everybody has to make their own decision on that. If the stock market does tank, then it will take the price of gold and silver down with it. So if you are investing in precious metals or commodities or anything else, everything's going to probably drop when another large move down happens. If you are in paper metals like ETFs or funds that trade on future contracts, then those are going to get hammered, and those will lose the most amount of money because those are tied only to the speculative price. If you invest in physical metals, it's like when the price of your house theoretically gets knocked down, but you're living in it. Well, who cares? You're not selling it. And it's the same thing with precious metals. It's a buy and hold. You typically are buying for quote-unquote insurance purposes to protect your wealth, or you're buying as a long-term investment where, again, it's a hedge. You are seeing the possibility that the fraud could take down everything. And so this will ensure that you have the ability to survive the reset or the crash that's coming. Worst case scenario, and you have to boogie, and it sounds crazy, but just remember, less than 100 years ago, people had to flee their homes and just take what they could carry. And so in the event that ever does happen, you can pretty much carry your entire net wealth in your pocket for most people. So in reply to their message, I asked those questions basically that I just relayed. Are you buying for an investment, for a hedge, or are you just speculating? If somebody is just speculating, then you can go into the market, but be aware that speculations go up, they go down. So it's a bet, gamble. If you are buying for long-term security, you really should buy physical metals. Now, a lot of people have no idea what that would even entail. You go into your brokerage account, well, I can just click a few keys and buy Bitcoin or buy gold or silver or a stock or a bond. So all these things that you can buy, and that's true. The only risk in holding physical metals is that if you lose it or if it's stolen, then you're out. So that's really the main risk that you have for holding anything physical. But if you are entrusting your gold to a bank or a third party, or putting it into the ground, I suppose, there's risk with all those options as well. In my opinion, if you have cash tied up in the bank or even into items that you don't need, for example, if you have a bicycle or a car or furniture, or anything that is just sitting there collecting dust, this is a very good time to sell those items while people are still buying them and convert it to physical gold or physical silver. In essence, it costs you nothing at that point. Especially money sitting in a bank, the real rate of inflation is much higher than what's advertised. And you can see it in your purchasing power. And so if you leave $1,000 in the bank, well, next year it might be worth $900 in purchasing power. Year after that, it might be worth $800. And so you're losing, and the way you see that is basically in how much you can buy with those dollars. So some people may say, well, why buy physical metals now? And it's like anything. The sooner you buy something, usually the better price you get. So if you do wait and prices continue to go up, even if, let's say that crash comes and you're like, all right, prices just fell 50%, now I'm going to go in and buy it. Well, you may be able to buy the paper at 50% off, but you will not be able to get the physical. You will find, let's say that the price of gold drops right now, it's dropping right now, it just dropped to 1970 today. So let's say it drops back to $1,600. You will go in online and try to buy it for $1,600, and you'll find the cheapest you can get it for is $1,900 or $2,000. And in some cases, people may not be willing to sell it at all. So the premiums, what's called a premium is the price that you're going to pay on top of spot. And premium is adjustable based on availability, supply and demand, and whatever other variable may affect whether people want to sell or not. So a few years ago, when the price of silver had been knocked down, you could get silver at 99 cents or lower, in some cases 59 cents over spot. So they're almost giving it away at that point. Gold at this point, I've seen gold where it's $100 to $200 over spot now. So what type of silver and gold should you buy? For people who do not own anything, have never owned it, don't even know what to own, there's really two different ways you can go. You can buy legal tender, or you can buy the metals. Now, you could buy jewelry. That's one way, and if you're crossing borders, you can wear it. There are pros and cons to that. That's just one way to do it. Check the prices. Probably not going to get the best price that way, but it's a different form. If we're talking silver, typically you can buy silver bars, silver rounds, or silver coins. Silver rounds and silver coins, they're round. They look like coins. The difference is a round is not legal tender. A coin is. Coin will be some countries' legal tender. So a Canadian maple leaf, a Chinese panda, Australian kangaroo, Australian philharmonic. Every country will have their version. Most countries will have their minted coins. Silver rounds or bars, you'll buy the silver for the cheapest as a bar or a round. In my opinion, you want to go with a round. A round typically is a little bit easier to sell than a bar. And I don't know this for a fact, but I've noticed that a lot of times the bars tend to be more counterfeit than the rounds. And that's another thing. That's why a lot of people will buy specific items to avoid the counterfeit risk. And what you want to do is you want to buy from a reputable source. See, I don't buy on eBay. That's just my preference. I think you're more likely to find a scammer on eBay than to buy through a reputable source that tests 100% their metals before they sell them. And they have equipment. Typically, you can do your own test. You can do a magnetic test with magnets, and you can weigh it on a scale and compare it. The other thing I like to do is take an ice cube and put an ice cube on a piece of silver, and that silver will transfer that cold from the ice cube instantly right into the silver. You'll see the ice start to melt when you put it on to silver. It's very cool. So if you have never bought silver before, I recommend that you start with 10 or 20 silver rounds. Buy it at the best price. If you go to a lot of these websites that I'll review shortly, you'll find that they have minimum orders for getting free shipping. So if you do not meet their minimum order, then you have to pay for the shipping. So in most cases, it's worth just ordering the minimum and getting the free shipping. You can even go in with some people and say, hey, you want a couple ounces of silver? I want a couple ounces of silver. Pool your order and get the free shipping that way if you don't have enough money to order it that way. And I think that's why a lot of people order on eBay, because you can order one coin at a time, but you're typically going to pay for the shipping one way or the other. It's built into the price. Now, the other thing I'll say as well on silver or gold, you can buy in fractional ounces. 1 ounce is really the standard for regular people, but you can buy in fractions of ounces. You can buy in 100 ounces. The price will vary. Typically, fractional ounces are going to cost, the premiums will be higher to compensate for that. You know, it's going to cost more to make 10 1/10 ounce coins or rounds rather than 1 ounce. And the same thing for 100 ounces versus 100 1 ounce items. So you typically get a slightly better premium on those. Not always, you should. If you don't, it's one thing to look for. The other thing is when it comes to selling, if you have a 1 ounce coin or round, then you have to sell it as a 1 ounce. You're not going to sit there, you know, cutting up a 1 ounce coin. And so in those situations, maybe you want fractional ounces, anticipating that if the price goes up 10 times, then you'll want to sell in smaller increments instead of trying to sell an entire ounce. You know, if you're expecting gold or silver to rise significantly, it may be a better decision to pay a higher premium now for a smaller denomination or a smaller package. That's another thing to consider. But again, if you're starting, the easiest thing, keep it simple. Start with 20 ounces of silver rounds. That should meet the minimums at most of these websites to get you the free shipping. And that's another thing to do as well, is it gives you a chance to try a place out and make sure you like the experience of working with these people rather than going all in, putting all your money in one order, and then finding out it takes 2 weeks to get the material. You didn't like the customer service, or you weren't happy with the quality of the product that they shipped you. So this is all going to be experience, and you'll have to experience this for yourself. Every town has pawn shops and coin shops. You can try those places. I check in on them, but again, you have to have a relationship with those people. It's hit or miss. It's hit or miss because they may or may not have good inventory, good pricing. It's good to check on them once in a while, but if you just want to buy and forget about it, this is going to be the simplest way to go. All right, so I'm going to dive into this now. This actually is an ETN, which is similar to an ETF. This is paper silver, and you'll notice right up here it's 3 times long. I strongly recommend that you do not invest in this if you are investing for the first time. You will have your head handed to you on these over time. These are pure speculation devices, just like all paper silver. There are Sprott funds, there are funds through other people. SLV, GLD are some of the more popular, but there is debate whether these places actually have the gold. So this is paper silver, so it's speculative. So just be aware of that. If you do not have any physical, then you do not want to go this route, okay? Okay, so this is one of the first websites. This is Gainesville Coins. They're down in Gainesville, Florida. They will typically have the best pricing online with the caveat that they always charge shipping. So you have to build that into the price. So as of right now, the other thing to look out for when in these times, you'll see that this item has an estimated shipping date of August 31st. Some people may not be comfortable with that. So you're going to be paying that, and you're going to hope that they don't go out of business before then and that they will ship your product. Now, will your bank protect you if that happens, if you send a check? With a lot of these places, I send checks because you get the best price. If you use a bank wire, your bank will charge you a fee. If you use a credit card, they will obviously increase the price to compensate for the money that they have to pay out in the credit card fees. When I first started out doing this, I used a credit card that paid me to use it. And I basically used the benefits that they paid me to pay for this additional premium, because I didn't know what I was doing, number one. But number two, I didn't know who to trust. So I used a credit card and paid the extra fee. And you'll see in this case, you're paying an extra $72 for that security. So you really don't want to pay that if you don't have to, right? Think about that. You could buy a couple ounces of silver with that $72 you just blew on the credit card fee. So that's why it's always good to start small with somebody, build up confidence, and then increase your order size. Anytime I go to these websites, I always go to the deals pages and I check out, okay, what deals do they have? Okay, they have this gold. Now they also have silver rounds. Awesome. So their silver rounds right now are $29.60. These will be the cheapest ones you find right now. I can guarantee you that. And when the price of gold and silver got hammered in, I think it was March, and I went onto their site and I was like, awesome. And so I was actually going to buy some Canadian maple leafs, and the price of silver got down to $11.90. And I went into this website and they were selling the maple leafs for $15 each. And I was like, awesome. So I was going to buy a bunch. And I was like, well, let me get a little greedy here. And I waited. It was that day where everything was just plunging. And I was like, I didn't really think this through. I said, well, what if silver goes to $10 or $9? Then I'll be able to get a better price. Not so. So the price of silver stabilized right after that. So I went back to this page and I typed it in and I went to order it, all gone. That was 10 minutes later. And all the rounds all the maple leafs they had were gone. So I lost out on a golden opportunity, because a maple leaf today, you're going to pay $30 to $40 for that, I'm guessing. And it's only going to go higher if things continue the way that it looks like they're going to continue. Now, the thing I don't like is, again, they're not shipping this till the 28th of August. Now, you can wait till the 28th of August. Now, the price will be different on that day. Might be lower, might be higher. The other thing is they may sell out what they have coming in on that day. So you may go to try to order this, and you may have to wait now till September 15th or whatever day they have more material coming in. There is a shortage in material this year. And so that's going to reflect in availability as well as premiums. The disadvantage is you're going to have to pay for the freight. The next company that I've dealt with is SD Bullion. And I'll leave links for all of this down there. And the link I'll leave for SD Bullion is I have a link with my name attached to it. It doesn't cost you any more money, but I get a benefit when you order using that link. So if you want to order using that link, I get a benefit. It doesn't cost you anything extra. That'd be appreciated. Every little bit counts in this world. So again, first thing I do is I go to the deals page and I look and see what's on sale. They may or may not mention silver rounds. So what I do is I go up to silver and I go to 1 ounce silver rounds. And most of these companies will have right over here, silver rounds their choice or silver rounds generic. I go with whatever's the cheapest price if I'm buying a silver round. I don't care if it's a Buffalo. I don't care if it's a Liberty of Freedom. I don't care if it has Obama on it. I'm going to buy it because I'm buying it for the silver content. Okay? If you wanted to buy Silver Eagle, which is the United States minted coin, then you are going to pay more money. So the Silver Eagle, if you buy 20 of them, you're going to spend $37, we'll say. If you send in a check, you'll see that it's more money for a credit card, which we talked about before. And the 1 round silver, you'll see it's $31. So you're spending $6 more for a coin. If you do not have any physical silver, buy the rounds. Buy the rounds. I'm not going to say not buy coins, but if you're just starting out, just get some silver in your hands. Okay, so SD Bullion, that's one site. AppMex is another site. Again, so I go to deals. Okay, Canadian 1 ounce silver maple leaf. There you go. See? So you'll get some deals. And the other thing to do is I always compare pricing against all of these. They all have different deals at different times. They all have different inventories, which will affect their premiums. And so you'll compare the same item at all the different places, and you will find better pricing at one versus the other. Okay, so SD Bullion right now, they have free shipping over $99. The others I think are at $199 now. Yeah, oh, they're up to $299. So that means you have to order more material to get free shipping. They also have insurance, so it's covered. Okay, this is JM Bullion. And again, if we go to on sale or deals, we'll compare that. Now they're $199. So that's what you want to look at as well, is where do you get. So if all of these companies have the same price and the same availability, you'd want to order with the company who gives you the free shipping. Now they'll say as low as, that's if you buy 1,000 of these things, or 500, whatever their best price is. So at 20, this is $35.45. So this is a slightly better price than SD Bullion. And if we go to silver rounds, right up here, now you'll see they do fractional rounds, multiple ounce rounds. Again, I go with the cheapest price. Now they do have a category up here, but I also check and make sure that something didn't get skewed or mixed the wrong way. So 1 ounce silver round varied. So you could get 5 of one, 10 of another. Usually that's not how it happens. If you order 50, you'll typically get 50 of one kind. You just don't know what kind it is. So they're charging $30.75. So have a piece of paper and you can write these down and compare them. Now remember, as you're going through, the price of silver is fluctuating. Now this is the spot price that these companies, so this is actually, when you see the prices dropping, that is the time you want to buy. That's not the time you sell. I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of people, they get scared and they see prices drop and they're like, oh my God, I have to sell. And that's not what you want to do. You want to have cash ready to go. And when you see, and that's why you don't buy everything at once. When you see the price drop, you're like, okay, I'll buy 20 ounces, right? And then if the price drops further, you buy some more. We saw that the price on the round right here for 20 pieces is $30.82. Well, the price of silver is $27.23. That is a $3.50 premium that they're charging. I was buying, coins with $1.69 premium for silver maples. There are certain countries that you can't get very good premiums on. The Chinese pandas, the Mexican libertards, those premiums are always high. Here for shits and giggles, let's go in and see if they even have those in stock. Yeah, see, they don't even have them. That's what you're going to find. You're going to find a lot of this stuff has been scooped up. And people aren't going to sell at these prices. People are going to wait. Yep, all the Chinese stuff is gone. Okay, so SD Bullion, AppMex, JM Bullion, and Provident Metals, along with Gainesville Coins. Those are the 4. So if we just look at Provident, they have a $199 minimum. So SD Bullion has the lowest freight requirement. 1 ounce, $9.995 silver. Now there's another thing, 999 versus 49s. 49s, you're going to have a higher content. So you will see that some gold products have 49s. If you have a choice for the same price between 39s and 49s, you buy the 49s because you're technically getting slightly more gold or silver. And you'll typically see the 49s in the gold because the 49s is the new standard, the Chinese standard. The Western standard is 39s. So you'll see the Chinese buying up all this gold, and they go send it to Switzerland, and they have it refined to 4/9. You see, this is the other thing you'll see. Due to extreme volumes, orders may take an additional 2 to 3 days. New, $199. See, a lot of these places were $99, and hey, it's supply and demand. Think about the handling involved. If you're picking one coin or 2 coins, it's a lot easier for them if they pick 10 coins and ship it to the same order versus picking 10 coins and shipping to 10 different orders. Now, this is where you might want to consider, now these are all out of stock, but you'll notice 20th of an ounce. So 1/20th an ounce, if you wanted the equivalent of 1 ounce, you have to multiply 124.32 times 20, which would be roughly $2,500, which you can see that's quite a premium over 1960. It's like anything that you track and follow. If you start tracking these every day, just go in and look at what they're offering. 2 things will happen. You'll start noticing what the trends are. You'll start to notice when a deal comes along and when to jump on it. Me, I saw the deal and I didn't jump. And what happens is these companies, they'll put out these deals either by mistake or on purpose, and the people who jump early on these things get the best price. And that's the thing with waiting. Yes, you'll always be able to buy silver and gold, physical. It's just the question is at what price? Would you rather buy an ounce for $30, or would you rather wait till it's 50 or 100? It's your decision. Too bad I didn't buy at 15. So I'm going to leave it there. I'll leave the links. If you have questions, leave the questions below, because that will be the best way to answer questions that I may not have addressed or that I missed. This is primarily for people who are hearing all these things about silver and gold and have no idea who to trust or how to start. I don't run these companies, so I can't guarantee their performance, but I would say that you are in good hands with these companies, okay? But start small, build up your own trust with these companies, and go from there. But I'll just finish by saying I think everybody will agree that this has been a crazy year. And so many things have happened that we thought could never happen or that we couldn't even fathom. And it's been that way for years. Our government, our monetary supply, the stock market, they're doing things that nobody could anticipate, because no sane person would do these things. They are acts of desperation. And acts of desperation, this is why I always say watch actions rather than words. And the actions will tell you that we are in extremely dangerous times and that you need to protect yourself. So if you have cash or you have things that you can sell, you have to ask yourself, is there more risk owning these items, having something in your hand, or is there more risk not owning? And I think you're crazy if you don't have some sort of protection right now. Start with something. That's how I'll leave it. Okay? Have a great day. Peace.